Good morning. This is Dr. Rajesh Mehra, and welcome to Women's Worldview. I'm honored and privileged to have in our studios this morning a very interesting guest whose name is Donna Hilfiger. She's going to be talking to us about motivation. As a matter of fact, this segment is called Motivational Moments with Donna. Now, how do we motivate us? How do we get things going? Donna is a very renowned life coach. Now, that word itself may be kind of foreign to you. What is a life coach, right? We always hear about a tennis coach, a basketball coach, football coach, but who coaches us about life, right? Do you need a coach for life? And the answer is yes. We have a teacher for everything. We need a coach to how to deal with life. So welcome, Donna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Yeah, I am so far okay. I was hungry earlier, so I had to grab some snacks and get a little energy and sugar going.
Well, that's good.
Because I was running low. So now I'm feeling much better. So, Donna, you have traveled the world. You've been all over. Tell us a little bit about and explain to our audience what exactly is a life coach.
Well, first off, when you said who needs a life coach, everybody needs a life coach.
Right.
Even I have a life coach because
You yourself have a life coach.
absolutely.
Okay.
I have people that I reach out to, and different people specialize in different expertise. And if I'm having trouble with my children, I will call someone that I know that's their specialty. And if it's a different area, I will call someone else. But we all need a life coach because all of us tend to get to a point in our life where we'll hit a plateau or something happens that we don't know how to deal with, or these experiences come up. And in what I do, it's different from counseling and therapy and all the traditional methods. I've got a gift that, that this is my passion. This is what I feel like I was put on this planet to do. And I can sit down and talk to somebody in a matter of no time. I can find the thread of, oh, well, here's where it went wrong. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the situation here.
So do you train to become a life coach? Is this a God-given gift? Can I become a life coach?
Absolutely. Anybody can become a life coach, but the thing is people think, oh, I can go out and I can take 90 days of training and I can be a life coach, but they're taking all of their programming that it's not working in their life and trying to work on somebody else, and they're looking at someone else's situation through their own stuff. I've been studying self-development my entire life, and for going on 28 years now. And
is this psychology, yoga? What is it that you've been studying?
I'm a Reiki master. I'm a master hypnotherapist. I'm a best bioenergetic synchronization, elite master bioenergetic synchronization technique. I can't even, bioenergy, advanced bioenergy. I've studied so many different things.
And this is all over the world, all over. It's not like you go sit in a classroom and learn this.
I've been studying this. I spent an entire year studying nothing but breath work 20-some years ago, and everybody was going, Donna's out doing her woo-woo stuff, and now you've got doctors on TV teaching their patients the benefits of deep breathing.
Right.
But the breathing alone is moving emotions through the body. When you're doing yoga, it's moving energy and emotions through the body.
Oh, yeah, the breathing thing was invented by the Indians.
Exactly.
Not because I'm an Indian, but that's the truth.
Right.
Thousands of years ago, when you were taught to deep breathe and how to breathe properly, because most of us don't even breathe, right? Half the day. We're just going through whatever we're doing.
Right.
So,
and I got with a company, I guess it's been about 4 or 5 years ago, and I took their life coach training because that was their requirement. I spent another entire year working on myself, taking life coach training, even though I'd been doing it, and I could have taught the class myself, but that was the requirements. But I don't think that anybody can ever work on themselves enough, because they would need to be walking the planet if they had it all figured out.
Sure, we all would be geniuses. So now, unlike a basketball coach or a tennis coach, so if I need a coach in general, a life coach, what do I do? Google life coach on the internet to find somebody like you, or are there many like you, or how does that work?
There's all kinds of coaches out there, and there's all kinds of people diverse people talking about life coaching, and you can Google life coach on the internet and you will get page after page after page. And I don't personally know about any of these people in particular. I just know about what I do.
Sure, no.
And what I do is results based. I get results.
So do you like see the person in an office? Do you do it on the internet, Skype, or on the phone?
This past week I worked with, I had 2 clients in Europe, and I had people all over the United States that were not anywhere near where I live.
Right, so it's
and
not
we're on
like...
a conference, it's on a conference line.
Right, so what I was trying to get at, it's not like you have to go to your office, wherever that is, to see you. You do this in the digital world,
Absolutely.
right? With all the modern technology.
Absolutely.
And how do people end up finding you? I mean, you yourself, do they Google your name, or do they just, how do they know who, when they, because you're stationed out of Virginia Beach.
Yes.
Am I right? That's,
Yes.
I mean, your main headquarters.
Yes.
So.
The main way I get business is off of referrals, because I get results. But I've been doing it for so long that I can pretty much listen to somebody and go, oh, well, here's what's wrong. Now let's do something about it, and give them an action plan. Most people just get up in the morning and allow life to happen to them, instead of getting up in the morning and setting an intention for the day. And once you have a game plan for your day, and we can go into detail with all of that in future segments, because I plan on coming back because I want to help people.
Oh, absolutely. It's all. So explain also a little bit, you alluded to it earlier, how this is different from being a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Because if I'm depressed, if I'm anxious, I'm going to go see somebody and say, look, I'm having marital trouble, I'm having this,
Right.
I'm going to talk to them about it. And so how is your approach different in generic terms than a counselor or a psychologist?
I'll give you a perfect example. I worked with a lady this past week, and she wanted to tell me about her 2 failed marriages and this and this and and I said, stop. It's not serving you to tell your story, because when you're telling a story, it's creating a feeling in your body, and if it's not a good story, it's not a good feeling, and that feeling is how you're carrying yourself out into the world, and that's basing the decisions that you're making on how you're feeling in any given moment. So I said, stop, it's not serving you to tell the story, let's trace it back. Everybody that I ever trained with said, oh, it's like peeling the layers of the onion. I said, well, I'm not an onion peeler. Let's slice the onion open, get to the core of what's really going on here. Where did this start? That's what I do. I trace it back and find out where the problem started, and then the layers naturally fall apart, and it's so much easier for the person to navigate through their life.
I see. And is there an age group you work with? Are the kids, adults, old people, young people? Is there any problem with that?
I have worked with all ages. I have 5 children myself.
Oh, congratulations.
When their friends would come in and go, oh, Mama Donna, help. But
Right.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age you are.
So as we were saying, give us some concrete examples of situational things that you have worked with and how you were able to help that person overcome those situations.
How much time do we have? I've got a laundry list of, it's just, I can't make this stuff up. When people are finally willing to deal with the problem, go to the root of it, and really address it, it's not like they have to marinate in the emotions or stay stuck in it. It's when the light bulb goes off, it's like, wow, it's like it sets them free. I had this lady that was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks. She'd had a hysterectomy. The doctor told her, oh, the complications you have only happen to 1% of the people having hysterectomies. And she's on the phone with me, and I said, was there sexual abuse in your past? Oh, I'm not willing to open that door. I spent years in therapy. I said, well, I'm here to tell you it didn't work, unless and until you go back and address what's really stuck back in your past. I said, I will hold your hand and walk you there. And she said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm tired. I'm supposed to have another surgery in the morning. I want to get out of the hospital. I said, fine. We went back, we worked on a little bit of it, and boom, she goes, oh my gosh, I never connected the dots to see how this played out all my life. She repeated this pattern after pattern after pattern. The very next morning, she got so well, so quick, that she didn't have to have the surgery that she was supposed to have. She got so well, so quick that they were going to let her out of the hospital that afternoon, but the lab messed up her blood thinner, and she got out the next morning.
Wow, amazing.
I had a lady in this class that I teach, and she wanted to manifest a lot of money, and she wanted to manifest $30,000. And so she calls me up and she said, "Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this." I said, "What's that?" She said, "I wanted to manifest $30,000. And I said, "Oh, okay," because I had 100 and some people in this class. And I said, "Okay, that's good." She said, "I got approved for a equity loan for $30,000 last week." And I said, "Well, that's great, but you've got to spend it and pay it back. So that's really not manifesting it." She goes, "Oh, no, no, no." She said, "Guess what happened today?" She said, "My banker called me, and this investment that I'd made had finally paid off," and she said, "Guess how much I made?" I said, "How much?" She goes, $300,000.
Whoa.
She was doing the work in the class every single week that I was telling her to do. She was replacing
Thinking
all of her
about
old
it.
programs with new
Right.
programs that were positive programs, and she manifested $300,000.
Hey, that's the class I want to attend right away. So you mentioned the class. So obviously you do this individually and in a group setting.
I do individually. I don't do a lot of individual coaches, one-on-one sessions because I travel so much and I stay so busy. But I do teach group classes, and I love teaching group classes, and I love doing huge seminars because I love that energy, that group energy. When you get a group of people together, it creates this mastermind, and the energy is just incredible, and I just love it.
Love that energy. Fantastic. Well, this has been quite informational, helpful to understand what is a life coach. We all need a life coach to improve our life. You've heard a lot of positive things from Donna today, and we're definitely going to request that she come back and get into some details, though, of how she actually does this in the upcoming segments. So stay tuned. Join us again next week, same channel, same time, and we will have Donna come back and tell us more techniques about how to do all of that. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.